Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to another eyebrow tutorial. It's been quite some time since I've done an eyebrow tutorial, and I've changed my brow game up completely. Like, it's probably like a 180 from what I used to do. Not to say that what I used to do there's anything wrong with it or anything like that, but I've just really liked the way that my brows are now, and I figured that I would ask you guys if you guys wanted to see it, which I did, and you guys said yes on both Facebook and on Instagram. So if that is something that you would like to see, then please keep on watching. So as I mentioned, I have changed my brow game up dramatically, and I guess you could call my brow style now as I guess you could say it's considered a soap brow, or you could even go as far as saying like a bush brow. So I do brush my eyebrow hairs up, so that way they're facing up towards my forehead, and that way it gives it more, I don't know, I feel like it just gives me a more natural looking look. So I am going to go ahead and do that. I didn't even put my ring back on this morning. I've been having to take my ring off lately, just a little side note. I don't know, I just feel like my circulation in my finger is just, since being pregnant, it just feels like it's just like cutting off the circulation like on this finger. So I take it off every night, and it's in the living room right now. So what I do use is I have this little acrylic case that I got from the Dollar Tree, and I got the Pears soap also from the Dollar Tree. If you do live in the US, the Dollar Tree store sells this type of soap specifically. This is the Pears transparent soap. It smells really weird as well, but it's a glycerin based soap, so it's not gonna be like very soapy on your brow. And I just have a squirt bottle that I also got from the Dollar Tree. And what I do is I just take like a few squirt inside of the soap, and then I take a spoolie. This is my Sigma Brow and Lash. It's an E80 spoolie. I really like this spoolie because it's, how can I explain it? It's not dense, but it's like, it's a tough bristled brush. So I do have leftover remaining soap from the previous time that I did it. So I'm just basically going to get it wet a little bit, and then I guess I'll do it like this. So I just dip it in the middle where it's basically mostly the most moist, and then I go up along the side. I don't really dig into the middle because it's wet, and I want my brows to be tacky, not really wet. So I'm just going to scrape along the side just to break up whatever's on the brush and to add a little bit more soap. And then I'm going to start soaping up my brow. So I do get my eyebrows threaded still. That's the best way, I feel personally, for my brows, is to just get them threaded, and then I'll just tweeze as I need to in between, and then I'll go back usually like every 3 weeks. So as I'm doing right now is I'm brushing my brows upwards, and as you can already see, it just gives it a little more hair-like, I feel. You can really see the hairs. I don't know what it is about this brow style, but I feel like it's just kind of the best looking my brows have been, while also my brows are also very, very, very thick right now, like the width, and I like that for my face shape right now. I feel like it looks really good. So I'm just gonna keep going over my brow. I continue to go back into the soap, just scraping along the sides just to get more, until I feel like the brow hairs are sticking in their place. And that's what's the best about the glycerin, is it's gonna stick and adhere to the skin surface. So I'm gonna just continue to do that until I feel like it's exactly where I want it to be. So towards the front, I go straight up, and then as I start going out, I kind of go at an angle towards my hairline. And then all the way out here at the tail, same thing. And if you ever have any hairs, long hairs, I like to keep my hairs pretty even all the way across, but I'll take some eyebrow scissors or whatever you call these and just trim as well. So basically you have a brow. That's how my brow looks without any makeup or anything like that. So the next step that I usually do is I take a cotton swab or a Q-tip, and I take alcohol in a spray bottle, and I'll spray the Q-tip, and then I'll go right underneath. This is just going to remove any soap, so that way when I go in with my concealer or my foundation, which is above, that there's no soap residue left, so it doesn't make it really... When I first learned how to do my soap brows, I didn't do this step, and it just made the concealer kind of like ball up and crumble, and I thought that was weird. So I just went ahead and took that off, and then I'm going to dry it. So next I'm going to take my Sigma angled brow brush. This is an E75, and I'm going to take my ABH brow powder. I've had this for a long time, y'all, and I finally found use for it again because I used to use it. If you remember my old routine, I used to use it, but now I mainly use this. So this is in the shade Ebony, and I take this lighter shade. I'm actually wearing black hair today, so I could take the darker shade, but I like for my brows to not be too dark. So I'm going to take the lighter shade, and I'm just going to go pretty much where it's sparse, and just kind of fill in the brows. For the tail, I don't really worry about the tail too much, but I do put some powder out there. And then for the front, I'm just trying to be as gentle-handed as possible because I don't want it to look too harsh in the front. So, like so, that's my brow. Of course, I'm going to go ahead and conceal. I'm going to take my Colourpop No Filter Concealer in the shade D46. If you guys remember, I used to use D42. I basically ran out of that shade. And dark 46 isn't too dark. It still gives me a highlighted brow look. So I'm going to take that on a Sigma, oh my gosh, what is this, an E15? It's worn off, like literally, I can't even remember. So I'm going to take it on a Sigma E15 brush and just take concealer, and then I'm going to go right underneath it. So after going right underneath, I don't want to leave it just like that. So I'm going to take a little more concealer and start pulling it down towards my eyelid. And that's just going to help it blend into the concealer again once I go in and prime my eyelids. So unless you want it to be done here, you can take a big fluffy brush, or you can take your finger and just kind of rub around, and that way you can soften up the edges and everything like that. But you can kind of see from here just the difference. That was loud. Just the difference between one brow to the next brow. I definitely understand if it's not your style of brow. It's not everybody's style of brow. Not everybody likes for their brow to kind of stand up and go straight up. They like for it to kind of go over, you know, just over like a regular brow. But I find personally, I like the way that my face shape looks and my makeup and everything looks once I have this brow on. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the other brow. I am gonna speed through this portion so that way you guys can still see it, but I'm not speaking through it. All right, you guys, so that's basically my brow routine. I know some of you guys might ask, if the soap feels itchy on my face, I absolutely don't even notice, like especially once my whole face is done, that I even put soap on my face. It doesn't feel itchy, it doesn't break me out. What else? Yeah, it doesn't really affect anything. I would say it's specifically because it's like glycerin soap, and it also doesn't have a scent to it. Like, it has a scent, obviously, but it doesn't have like a Dove scent, or you know what I mean, like a caress scent. It doesn't have a specific scent. It's just basically a clear glycerin soap. So I don't feel anything on my eyebrows or on my face or anything like that whenever I do my brow routine, which is usually every time I have on a full face. So I am going to complete the rest of my face and everything, and then I'm going to come in and finish with my brows, because that isn't generally the end of my routine. I usually go in with a brow pencil towards the front and towards the tail of the brow once my whole face is completed. So I'll be right back. So I'm back. The final thing that I usually do for my brows is I take my Benefit Precisely My Brow Pencil, and I use this to kind of fill in the sparse areas. So mainly the front portion of my brow. Actually, what I'm going to do is take my spoolie first and just brush through, because sometimes my hair falls over after I've done my face routine. So I'm just going to take it and just go in and kind of draw like little hair-like strokes towards the front of the brow, and then extend the tail out a little bit, and just fill in wherever I feel like there are some sparse areas, like especially right here towards the front. All right, you guys, well, that's pretty much my brow routine. It's really simple, really easy. It's actually very quick, and you don't have to like carve out the top and the bottom. Like, I feel like this brow routine for me fits me perfectly. It fits my face. It fits the way that I like to do my makeup now. And I feel like I look like the lady from the Addams Family. What's her name? Morticia Addams, or whatever her name is. I feel like I look like her right now. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I did not record the makeup routine just because it's just my basic everyday kind of like makeup products, as well as just like a natural get ready with me, you know, not like, it's just like a no makeup kind of look, even though it's like a full glam of makeup. So I did not record that. However, I hope you enjoyed the eyebrow routine. If you do decide to try it out, make sure you guys take a picture and tag me on Instagram. I'd love to see it. And yeah, just keep practicing your brows, whether you do it like this or whether you do it like my old eyebrow routine. Whichever way, just make sure that you continue to practice, and one day you will finally get it. I promise. It took me quite some time, but I finally got it, and then I decided to switch my brow routine. So nonetheless, keep practicing, keep trying, and you will get it. I hope you have a good day, and I'll see you soon.